It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Dallas, Texas. And tonight, 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mando DeCipio. This is America's Podcast. What's the buzz? And tonight, a very special episode inside Secret Societies. I'm joined tonight. God help me. She's back. Amelia the Pitbull Chapman is back in action. Good help. Cal, you picked a good night to join us, brother. She's in rare form. And we have a special guest tonight. He is an aspiring actor. He is a conspiracy kook like the rest of us. His name is Callum Big Cal Yater. And he is, as I said, an actor. He hasn't done much yet. He's done some little stuff. But he's a friend of Steve, my friend Steve Joyner, and any friend of Steve's a friend of mine. Plus, he's my publicist, and I guess he's going to be Cal's manager at some point, right?
Right. Getting there.
Yes.
Good. He's going to, let's see, Steve Joyner, by the way, is great manager, he's great publicist. He's my publicist. And Steve is the manager of film actor and comedian Eddie Deason. And Cal is very fortunate to have Eddie Deason as a part of a client list now. So there you go. Steve Joyner is going to be Cal's manager. Cal, how did you get involved in? Because I know you're kind of like a little bit of a gamer and you're like into the video kind of thing, right? How did you get into acting?
Well, a friend of mine, he actually, used to do some work for HBO, and he was always, pushing me in that direction. And I started getting, background gigs. Like I've been on Vice Principals, I've been on The Righteous Gemstones, both of them starring, Danny McBride, Walton Goggins.
In other words, people nobody fucking knows.
What? Everybody knows who Walton Goggins is.
I have no idea who he is, brother. If he was born after 1990, I don't know who the fucking guy is. I have no idea. You got to remember something. You're talking to a guy that's 66 years old, okay? So he's probably like not in my wheelhouse right now. Amelia might know. Do you know who he is, Mil?
Not really, no.
Okay, so yeah, we're lost there, babe.
Well, y'all watch Fallout at all?
No.
Great show.
No, well, I'll tell you what, though. I will do some research and find out who this cat is. I will do, and if I tell you I'll do it, ask him.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I will do it. So you're into kind of like new at the acting bit. You're just doing kind of background stuff, which is good. Always do the background work. Any kind of walk. I don't care if it's walking in front of the camera, behind the principal actor, whoever it gives you a chance to do anything, and there's a camera in the room. Do it. Do it. Trust me when I tell you, do it. We have a friend of mine, Amelia, and I have a friend named Stephen Plim. He's a big time. He's a heavyweight show business manager. He handled a lot of guys, a lot of actors and actresses. His famous client, though, you might have heard his name was Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is.
He probably hasn't heard of him. Like
the singer from like the 60s.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Tiny Tim, tiptoe through the tulips. Yep, him. Yeah, wow. Steve Plim is he handled. Now Steve Plim's like 74 now, but 75. He might be 75. I think he's 74 for sure. Because every time you ask him how old he is, he lies about his fucking age. That's what Steven does. He just lies about his age. But I know he's about 74. But yeah, all right, good. It's great to have you here. We're going to talk about one of our favorite topics tonight, conspiracies. We love the conspiracies around here. Tonight, secret societies. Everybody, we're going to do secret societies tonight. Amelia,
Yes.
what do you know? Now, we've done kind of skirted around this before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know? Forget about reading anything because I got stuff in front of me too here. Before we get, start pulling our papers out and start reading, what do you know about the inner workings of the secret society as an entity?
Well, of course, they provide support and assistance to members. Basically, they get them into a lot of them are political, of course. They get them higher
Yeah,
up in ranking
yeah,
to any political sites. And some of them are, it's like you join a certain group, they promise you you'll become rich. Some of them promise you to become famous, things like
yeah.
that we've heard of,
Sell your soul to the devil,
Yes.
brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Step right this way. Step right this way. It'll only
Yep.
cost you your soul,
Yep.
son.
Sign on the dotted line with your blood,
You know?
basically. Mm-hmm.
Ask guitarist Robert Johnson,
Yes.
possibly the worst guitarist that ever picked up a guitar, made a deal with the devil, and he's played like he's been playing since he was a baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Robert
Anyway, but
Johnson.
Amelia, what's that, Cal?
I was like Robert Johnson. I got to remember that name.
Yeah.
Robert Johnson was the beginning of the now famous 27 Club. Did you know that?
No.
He was the first one, died at 27. The devil killed him. Verifiable proof that he was actually killed by the devil. Can't make this shit up, brother. You cannot make this stuff up. I swear, I'm telling you,
No, there's
you
a
can't
lot.
make this stuff up, man. Remember something. Fact is always stranger than fiction. When I tell you, believe me, fact is always stranger than fiction. One of the things people don't understand. Do you know that the Freemasons, even though everybody knows who the Freemasons are, did you know that the Freemasons were only a secret society when they came to America? They started in England. People like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, every one of them were Freemasons.
Yeah, it goes back to the 1500s.
Goes back before that, brother.
Yeah. Way before that.
It goes back before that. Absolutely. Good. The Freemasons go back to 727 BC with the Knights Templar, of which I am a descendant. There's my Templar ring.
That's cool.
Yep. It's my family they did a family tree years ago. And we were related to two popes and the Knights Templar. Can't make this shit up. You can't. You just cannot. As I said, life is always going to be stranger than fiction.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's funny because the Masons, along with the Templar, and they're basically the same group.
Mhm.
They weren't a secret society until they left England and broke away from the king's throne and came here to this place called America that was discovered, eons before by Queen Isabella's schnook named Christopher Columbus. And we're actually going to do a show on him one time. Will the real Christopher Columbus please stand up? Because he was a problematic child.
Was he ever?
He really was. Yeah, he was a problem child, that boy. So when people talk about secrets, here's another one. Hiding in plain sight. The mafia.
Mm-hmm.
The mafia is a secret society.
Yes, sir.
There's two branches of the mafia people. You're going to hear about them tonight. Two branches. You have the La Oranata Societa. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's called La Oranata Societa. Yep. And that's the mob, the mafia. And then the other one is called the Black Hand, also called Cosa Nostra.
Hmm.
The Cosa Nostra. A lot of people say La Cosa Nostra. And I quickly learned, because I had George Anastasia on the show, who's the covers. This guy's written more mafia books than there are mafia members. Let me tell you something. I had George on the show. And he says, it just drives me nuts when people say La Cosa Nostra, because La Cosa Nostra means our thing. La means the. Okay. And if you put La Cosa Nostra together, it means the our thing, which doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. None. None whatsoever. So it's not La Cosa Nostra, it's Cosa Nostra. Okay. Even the Godfather movies got it wrong. It's not La Cosa Nostra. Hey, I'm Namaste Dayan. I'm telling you, it's Cosa Nostra.
It's weird how they put that lie in front of it.
And yeah, right. Yeah, everybody does the lie. The fuck out of here. Anyway, Cal, talk to me about some of your favorite secret societies. What intrigues you, my friend, my young friend? What intrigues you about the inner workings of secret societies?
Secret societies are everywhere you go, but one in particular is the if you ever watch any videos coming from CERN, and they've got videos being.
How many times we've done CERN on this show? Yeah, boy.
Oh, but did you watch the video that I sent you on Messenger?
Yeah, I aired it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I aired it.
Yes.
Brother, I got more videos. I got videos from CERN, from inside CERN, that people sent us.
Yes.
I have a video of a portal being opened, okay? Watching them open a portal using the Hadron Collider to open up a portal. That will fucking scare the shit out of you, my brother.
It did me. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, for real.
What? I have
and
not.
When I showed it, I had a priest on the show.
I had to watch my language that day.
Oh man, I have to see that.
Go back and look at the show. You'll see. In fact, you know what? I'll send the clips to you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, CERN is the big one. People don't understand what CERN is. I'm going to scare everybody a little bit, okay? CERN was built to try it was built to try to do something, but it succeeded above and beyond all expectations. What they were trying to do is to replicate what they called the God particle. They literally wanted to put themselves, to make themselves God. Now, who's that sound like? Sounds like Satan, doesn't it? Because that's what Satan did. He put himself up as God. Well, CERN succeeded at creating the God particle, but they succeeded to a level they didn't even anticipate, because what happened is not only did the God particle stop time, but it created this thing called the matrix that we're living in now. We now live in, and we've done this on the show. I've showed you the Berenstain Bears. And now I've showed you the Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
And both are real. Okay? I've showed you Fruit Loops with 4 circles, 4 serial circles, and I've showed you Fruit Loops with the word and the circles. Both are real. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Skippy peanut butter. Is it a real thing?
Yes, because I buy it.
Is Jiffy a real thing?
Yes.
No, it's not.
I buy it all the time.
No, you don't.
It's Jif.
It's Jif.
Oh, okay.
It's Jif.
Jif, okay. Yeah, well, I buy Jif peanut butter.
You know what? Let me tell you what happened. This is what people remember. back in the 1970s,
Mm-hmm.
there was a show. It was a sitcom. I forget the name of it. It was a sitcom. I remember seeing the clip.
Mm-hmm.
And they had peanut butter
Right.
on the show. They couldn't use the name Jif
Oh, so they had to
because
put
it wasn't a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So they changed it to Jiffy.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, people remember Jiffy peanut butter, but there's no
Mhm.
such thing as Jiffy. It's Jif. What they're remembering is Skippy
Oh, you know why? Probably because
peanut
Annette
butter.
Funicello had the
E-
Skippy commercial at that
Exactly.
time.
You
Mm-hmm.
get where we're going with this,
Yes.
okay? The
Uh-huh.
Mandela effect, the Matrix are
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
Thanks to CERN.
Mhm.
They created Einstein's parallel universe. Time, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a conspiracy. This is factual. It's scientifically proven and factual. Time has lapsed over on itself.
Yes.
Okay? We are living in a simulation right now. People don't get that,
No, they don't.
you know?
See, the
Gamers.
real
Go ahead, Cal.
I'll have this theory that, remember how everybody was thinking that 2012 was going to be the end of the world?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. It was the end of the. It may have been the end of the world, but the simulation. That's when it started happening, because that's when there was there was an earthquake that hit Chile in 2012, and it was one of the strongest earthquakes to ever hit. And it shook the earth a couple inches off its axis.
And it's
So
still off. That's why,
Mhm.
Cal, I want to jump. I want to piggyback off of that, Cal.
Yeah.
What Cal is telling you is 1000% correct. And
Correct.
right now, the Earth is 8 degrees off its axis. This is why you're getting 31-degree weather
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of April in New Jersey. Because the upper East Coast feels it before the rest of the country does. Okay? In England, which is 5 hours ahead of us, therefore they get the weather 5 hours before we do.
Right.
It was snowing in England.
Wow.
It was snowing, listen to this, Sunday morning, yesterday morning, it was snowing in upstate New York. You hear what I'm saying to you?
Wow.
in April.
In April. You hear what we're going? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? Right? Like the guy says on the commercial, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You know? This is what we're talking about. Yeah, absolutely.
It
This
was
is
freezing. It was freezing in Michigan.
Oh, brother, Michigan is that's like that all year long, though. It's fucking cold there, man. That's why those people are miserable. They're the most miserable people in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
And all of a sudden, too,
You'd be
here
miserable too if you had to live in that shit all fucking
here in
year.
Florida, we were enjoying it because our lows were like 48 degrees, which we liked because it's normally not that low at night here in Florida.
I tell everybody what a secret society is. Secret society, ladies and gentlemen, is an organization that conceals its activities, events, and inner workings or membership. That's the big one. We're going to get into that. They conceal, they hide, they
Mhm.
they what's the word I'm looking for? They sweep under the rug. It's a good one. They
Yeah.
sweep under their rug what they're doing, how they're doing it, who's doing it. The biggest thing is the membership. They don't want you to know who's part of these groups. You would be surprised. We've already exposed Hollywood.
Yeah.
We've already exposed the Rain Man. We've already exposed, the satanic, panic in Hollywood. Tom Hanks is one of the biggest members out there. Tom Hanks is like fucking God in Hollywood
Oh, yeah.
because he's the one who sold the soul the most. Here's the thing, though. They consider their inner workings, their memberships, and may or may not attempt to conceal its existence. Now, there's two schools of thought here. There are groups that will conceal its membership, that they don't even want you to know that they're real. I'll give you a perfect example. Perfect example. There's a group called Skull and Bones. Cal, you know what it is, the Skull and Bones Society.
Oh yeah, Skull and Bones. They've actually brought up many people that are in like Hollywood. They were also 3 presidents that were in Skull and Bones. I don't remember exactly
I'm going
who.
to show you a picture, Cal. I'm going to show you a picture that's got 5 U.S. presidents in it from Skull and Bones. 5 in one picture. And it's not Photoshopped. It's a real picture from back in the day. But you're absolutely right. That was an organization that denied it even existed. You know who? I want to tell you who outed them. You're going to laugh when I tell you. George Bush. George W. Bush outed them. He said, yeah, I was a member of that group.
Yep.
Okay, they're not a secret no more. George Bush just said I was a member of that group.
Surprise.
He was always making things slip up, like
Right?
yeah, like he couldn't, like, I don't know, he just couldn't talk.
Here's what he said. This was the best. Cal, you're going to love this. He said, the reporter asked him. In fact, it was, I'll tell you who it was. Bill O'Reilly, formerly of Fox News. Bill O'Reilly said, Mr. President, there's an organization you remember of when you attended Yale called Skull and Bones. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that? He goes, no, Bill, I can't talk about being a member of Skull and Bones. Bingo, you just said you're a member of Skull and Bones. Hello.
Yeah, right there.
I just validated Cal Yater because George Bush was a stupid fuck.
Oh, we can actually cuss. All right, cool.
Yes. Yeah, it's
where you been? I've been cussing since I said good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah. Then he said me, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Here's the thing. Here's the other thing. The core feature for the deliberate attempt to keep certain aspect of the organization hidden, varying degrees of secrecy exist. Now, for example, Skull and Bones, when they began, were completely secret. They were literally underground because they started in an underground cave on the campus of Yale, which, by the way, for the record, is still there and still used today. But it doesn't look like the cave it once was. It's very, very, very posh. Believe me when I tell you. But other organizations, for example, the Hellfire Club. The only thing you'll get out of the Hellfire Club membership is that they are a club. That's all you'll get. They'll never tell you where it's at, who other members are. They'll never tell you what they do. They will not acknowledge in any way, shape, or form any criminal activity if it exists. They'll tell you that they are a group of, how would they say? And they use the particular word. They are a fraternal group of a wide variety of personalities, lecturers, authors, philosophers, a diverse group, essentially. But what they won't tell you is who these authors and lecturers and philosophers are and what their areas of study are. 90%, or actually 93%, of secret societies have some sort of political and or theological agenda. often both political and theological, because everybody knows that church and state are separate. Bullshit. It's never been separate. Church and state have never been separate. They've been together since the beginning of time. Back to the Garden of Eden, that far back, okay? Some societies maintain complete secrecy about their existence, while others may be known to keep their activities on the short leash. In other words, they'll tell you only what they want you to know. I'll give you an example, a perfect example of a group like that. The Freemasons. The Freemasons will tell you, and they'll sit down with you. They will interview. You can sit down and interview them. They'll love to talk to you, but they're only going to tell you the narrative, that the program narrative. Okay, they're going to tell you how they were founded, who founded them, where they were founded, any rumor, and they'll address the rumors. They absolutely will. They will not deny the rumor, nor will they confirm the rumor, but they will address it. That, yes, we've heard that. Okay? Give you an example. Geraldo Rivera interviewed a member of the head of, I forget what they call him, General somebody or whatever the fuck his name is. The head of the Freemasons, right? And he asked him about a death that took place in 1962, 61, 62. The death, a mysterious death of a Freemason. Well, the guy addressed it. He says, "Oh yes, we're aware of that, and we don't know what happened." Bullshit. We know the person's name, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, can you tell me? Nope. For the sake of his family privacy, this happened in 1962.
Oh, wow.
You're going to worry about his family's privacy now? 63 years later, 64 years later? You're going to worry about that now?
Wow.
Really? Wow, brother. No shit. All right. The American Mafia, Cosa Nostra. That was on the top of the list only because that's there by alphabetical order. American Mafia. Here's one. Cal, do you know anything about the mystical order of the Rosicrucians?
I have. I've never heard of that one.
If I say to you Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, you know what I'm talking about?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Okay. That movie is about the Rosicrucians and the order of Opus Dei. Remember when the guy was flogging himself?
Faintly. It's been years since I've seen it.
Okay. Well, in the movie, there's a mystical priest, and he's flogging himself with the cat o' nine tails to the point where he's bleeding profusely. What they do is they take on the stigmata of Christ. They suffer like Christ did, and then they go out and kill. That's what they do. They're hired hitmen, much like the Jesuits at the Vatican. Try to get into the Vatican. You got a better chance of getting into Fort Knox, okay? I'm serious. You'll got a better chance of getting into Fort Knox. Because those priests will shoot you fucking dead. For real. You think I'm kidding? They will kill you where you stand.
These secret societies that are out there, it's just ridiculous. Some of them will tell you what they're about, and some of them, I think a lot of them are a front for a lot of things. Like, for example, like the Freemasons, like moral conduct in their charity work that they do. I think a lot of them could be a front.
Ruffian is here. Yep.
There was a video that I saw years ago. I have trouble finding it now, but these people, they went up to this Freemason and was asking him who he was, and he said his name was Lucifer.
Hmm.
You ever seen that one?
I know which one you're talking about, and I can tell you what happened to that video. It's been scrubbed from the internet.
Yes.
El Ruffian is here. He says Kerry Von Erich. Kerry was one too. Ruffians, by my man Ruffian. The Porch Masons do that. The higher degrees give you a different version of the story. Absolutely. See, he's verifying what I say. They give you, they skirt around the story. Okay. They'll never hit it head on. They'll go around it, kind of like the wagon circling the Indian,
Yeah. They'll give you a different piece of the puzzle that doesn't match together, basically.
Yeah. I'm going to show you guys because this is the first. Cal is a first timer here. I want to play. I want to play something. I want you to take a look at this here. Watch this. Now you see all that there, Amelia?
Yes.
The Church of Synonym.
Yeah, there's Jim Jones right there.
Heaven's Gate, the Solar Temple Order, Heavenly Jerusalem, Scientology, Angels Landing, the Family Code. There's one missing from that, Neil. There's one missing. Remember?
Yeah, let's see, who was that?
Love has one.
One cult, yes, with Amy Carlson.
Yep, Love has one. Okay. Now, this is the La Honorata Societa. That's one version of the Sicilian Mafia. That's the original Mafia. Then you've got Cosa Nostra, the Black Hand. You'll see that in a couple of seconds, too. These are all Freemasons, by the way.
There's so many of them. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, sure are. The Illuminati, Freemasons. There's the Black Hand. This is the other Mafia group. The Black Hand is, for lack of a better word, the Americanized version of the Mafia. But you have to be Italian to join. Okay. Cal, this is the Order of the Rosicrucians. What can you tell me right off the bat about that cross? Something very interesting about it. What do you notice about that cross, Cal? Right off the bat.
I see the Star of David right there.
Very interesting. Stop right there. Stop right there. Every star on there is a pentagram, except for the 6-pointed Star of David. Everything there is a pentagram. Well, people will say, well, that's not a pentagram because it's not upside down. It doesn't need to be. A pentagram that is upside down only indicates that you're worshiping Satan or that you acknowledge Satan as your God. That's what the inverted pentagram means. Otherwise, you are looking at a pentagram, and I don't care which way you slice it or dice it, it's satanic. But especially because there are 5 of them there, except for the Jewish star, the cross of David. Okay? That's the cross of David. That was David's cross. or what they call the Jewish star,
The Jewish star.
the Jewish
Mhm.
star. Interesting stuff.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Let's tell you what you got on here. You got the Knights Templar, the Masons. You got Skull and Bones. You got here's one for you, Cal. The Moose Lodge. Okay.
The Moose Lodge.
The Moose
Mhm.
Lodge. The Order of the Dragon. You see the serpent?
Yes, I see it right there.
And the owl in the middle, that's the Bohemian Grove. We've done many shows about the Bohemian Grove.
We sure have.
Wow.
This is the Order of Opus Dei. That's the order, that's the Alpha and the Omega. That's the 7 is the complete number of God. That's the Opus Dei. They're called God's hitmen. Again, there's the Black Hand again. Would anybody like to venture a guess at what this is?
Illuminati.
That's exactly what it is. It's the Illuminati. That is the international symbol of the Illuminati. The all-seeing eye. Where else do we see the all-seeing eye?
Hidden in-
Bills.
See them in dollar bills. You see them hidden in kids' TV shows.
You
Mhm.
sure the fuck can.
Yes.
You carry the Illuminati with you every single day. They created our currency. The Illuminati, I'm going to say that again. The Illuminati created the money in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Freemasons.
There's the eye
Again.
again.
Very, very powerful in the Illuminati. They are one of the gatekeepers, they're called.
Mm-hmm.
There are the Freemasons, the Council of Nine, the Committee of 300 are all called gatekeepers of the Illuminati. And they're not going anywhere anytime soon. When I tell you, believe that. Let's see what we got here. We got the Knights Templar. There's the satanic pentagram. You see the upside down pentagram?
Yes.
Okay. Right above it is the seal of Satan. Do you see, Cal? Do you see the swastika?
Yes, I do.
Guess what?
Huh.
That's not German. The Germans did not invent the swastika. It's Egyptian. It's the seal of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Yep. There's the owl. There's the see the owl, Amelia? The Bohemian
Yes.
Club, BC.
Mm-hmm.
Bohemian Club. There's the star, the Star of David. Again, the sickle and the arm and hammer, absolutely. Of the Freemasons, the sickle and what do they call that? The what are they? That mitre? Fuck, I forget what they call that name. Anyway, say again, Cal.
Hammer and sickle?
That yes,
Yeah. Mm.
and then there's the Skull and Bones 322. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about why it's called 322 because it's interesting. Oh, by the way, there's one more on here. I want to bring it back just a second, half a second.
Okay.
You see that one there that looks like the sun rays that says IHS?
Yes.
Okay. That's from the Catholic Church.
Wow.
Okay. That's from the Catholic Church. That's what was, again, if you look at the cross with Jesus on it, Those letters are above Jesus's head. And if you ask a Catholic, you'll get many different answers as to what it means, because nobody really understands what it means. But this is the gist of it here. You saw that one, the hammer and the sickle, okay. Cal Meter, our new guy.
Hello.
I want you to take a look at that. How many American presidents do you see there? Because I'll tell you their names, and then you'll know exactly who they are by me telling you.
See, there's a skull and bones. Wow, society. Well,
That's the Skull and Bones Club at Yale. In that picture are George Bush, Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, Dwight Eisenhower, and I'm not sure, not Dwight Eisenhower. Harry Truman, and Alfred Dewey. I think that's what Alfred Dewey. Was that his name? Amelia, was it Alfred Dewey?
As a president, I'm not sure.
Alfred Dewey. He was vice president. I'm sorry, he was vice president. But those are the 5 guys that are in there.
Wow.
Alfred E. Dewey. It was in there. He was vice president under Harry Truman.
So 5 at the same time. Wow, in one place.
There's Gerald Ford sitting straight up front. There's Prescott Bush. He's the one leaning over the skull. That's George Bush's father. And of course, George Bush is right behind him, right there, with the lighter suit on.
Oh yes, right by the clock.
He's right by the clock. Richard Nixon. Where's Tricky Dick at? Oh, Tricky Dick is over here, down over here. Second or third one in over here. And who else? And there's Alfred Dewey. Dewey is the short guy, left-hand side, second from the end.
Oh, okay. See.
Alfred E. Dewey. He ran for president. He lost, but he was vice president at the time. There was a big headline that said Dewey defeats Truman. Of course, it was a premature headline because Truman, of course, beat Dewey. Let's see here. What else we got? Skull and Bones. There's a lot, folks. I'm doing this from memory, folks. So just bear with me here.
Look at that.
By the way, just so you know, take a good look and tell me what you see there, because it is a real skull.
That's what I was going to ask you if that was. And
it is a real human skull.
Is that the arms or the legs of the skull?
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a horn coming out of the head of that skull.
I was actually going to say the skull looks elongated.
It's not only elongated, but there's a protrusion sticking out of the top of it.
Yeah.
And there's a large hole in one side and a kind of a horn sticking out of it. Yeah. Let's see what's next. What do we got next on this one? Okay, that's the Mason symbol, international symbol for the Masons. What else is coming? Oh, here's one. Oh, here it is. Hold on, let me put it back. There it is. Hot damn. Do you know what this is? Let me bring that up again.
Looks like I don't know, it's like a goat or a ram. Maybe?
It is the Order of the Ram. It is a highly satanic group. It is one of the most secretive groups on planet Earth. There are over 20 million worldwide members to the Order of the Ram.
Wow.
Anytime you see the ram, it automatically means Satan.
Hmm.
Okay? Automatic.
That is weird looking. It just
That's
Okay.
unsettling.
This is the official logo of the Freemasons. The black hand. Again, it's the American version of the mafia. This is the very first photo ever taken of Skull and Bone Society. It's the very first, and I want you to take a look at the skull. Let me bring this up for you. Take a look at the skull. As you can see, it's a very different skull than the other picture. Okay? Which means somebody died for them to get that other skull.
oh wow.
Okay. I
You
don't
think
know
that-
I don't know the history of this photo, Amelia and
Uh-huh.
Cal, but if I would venture to say, if you checked out this this photo, there's probably some nobility there.
You don't think it was a member that donated a skull to them, do you? Perhaps.
Interesting. Oh, here you go. This is again an early picture of the Order of the Freemasons. Very ornate. And one of the things, they almost look like clergy, don't they? They almost
Yeah.
look like priests,
They do.
but they're not. The head of the World Bank, his name is Klaus Vormann. Okay, Klaus Vormann is the highest ranking member on planet Earth of Freemasonry. He's the highest ranking member on Earth. His degree is 333. He's
Wow.
the highest level of Freemason ever. That's how he dresses. What you're looking at is how he dresses today.
Wow.
In fact, I'm going to get a picture of him and show it to you. So let's see what else. And that's it. That's kind of the gist of it. What do you think about that stuff? Crazy stuff, ain't it?
Yeah, to me, when you showed that black hand, it looked like there was like a hidden figure in that middle of that black hand. To me,
Mhm.
I don't know, like a Satan
It
figure,
was.
but they were
Yeah.
trying to hide it.
Well, that's the whole idea. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course they're trying to hide it.
So I
They're
saw
not gonna
something
say-
in there. I was not.
They're
It's
not
not
going to
me.
say, Amelia, look, we're going to do this. Watch this, Meal.
So I
course.
wasn't losing my mind. Okay, good.
No, you lost your mind ages ago. That's fucking gone. Are you shitting me? Please. Nah, your mind is shot, lady. Forget it.
And that wasn't on purpose. Okay.
I want to go over some names here
Mhm.
that you might not know, but they're interesting. Again, here's an organization that's a secret society that's hiding in plain sight, the Ku Klux Klan,
Mhm.
that I actually had a run-in with.
Oh.
I did in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Yep.
I
They
had to
called me
remember. Go ahead.
They called me a Jew bastard and the N-word all in the same breath.
Oh no, I had to remember to
Can't
be
make that
around
up.
those people. I had to remember that not to tell them I was Mexican. Remember, anybody white in Tennessee, I had to say, "Yeah, how y'all doing?"
Wow.
Oh, God, Neil. Shut up, Neil. Let me
Yeah,
go
really.
over this. Here you go. The Independent Order of the Odd Fellows, the 5 Points Gang, the Knights of Pythias,
Wow.
still around, by the way. All these groups, by the way, are still around. Hold on, Neil. Just bear with me a minute. Hold on. Knights of the Golden Circle, the Knights of Columbus.
Mhm.
Okay, the Knights of Columbus.
Well, yeah, they're
Um,
still around. They're they're
Yep.
in the education. They're in the education systems. They're in,
Oh my
you
God,
know.
please. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's whole neighborhoods where there's nothing but government and their families allowed to
Mhm.
be there, and I mean, Yeah, there's a lot that's kept away from the average person.
Yeah.
Do you know that you cannot live in the town of Cheyenne, Wyoming,
Wow.
unless you are a government employee? Ask me
Really?
Why?
Why?
Ask me why. It's the head of NORAD. NORAD is inside Cheyenne Mountain.
Interesting.
And everybody who lives there works there.
Hmm.
hmm
Wow.
If you're not even, look at it from the air. You know how you can go on Google Earth and look at stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Don't try doing that on Cheyenne Mountain because it's all blurred out.
Mm.
I got one for you.
Talk to me,
I got
pal.
some Google Maps photos of this area in Antarctica where there's a pyramid.
Oh, I got you one better. I got film of it. I
Yeah.
got video.
Really?
Yeah.
I got video of the pyramid. I got video of the UFO that they have there. I even have an actual photo taken from space of what looks like a hole in the top of the Earth, which proves my hollow Earth theory, or at least partially hollow anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have stuff from Antarctica that if people were to look at me and go, "Where'd you get that?" I would have to say, "I can't tell you.
Can't tell you.
I can't tell you. It just fell in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
Just fell. Like I was already asked, where did you get pictures of President Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe? Can't tell you.
Nope.
Here you go. The Book and Snake Club, the Brotherhood of the American Yeoman, the Brotherhood of the Union, Brothers in Unity, the American Protective Association, the Order Templi Orientis, the Improved Order of the Red Man, the Consecrated Order of the Hoo-Hoo. I'm not even making this up, folks. That's the name of it. The Council on National Policy. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I just said. The Council for National Policy is a secret organization. Here's another one that's a secret organization that should scare the flying fuck out of you. The United States Federal Reserve.
What? It's a
The
secret
people
society.
that are responsible for your money is a secret society.
When did that become secret?
It's been, you know, that the Federal Reserve is neither federal nor a reserve. The Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, is a private bank run by Jewish bankers. You have to be a Jew to be there. You cannot be a non-Jew and work at the Federal Reserve.
Is the gold still in the Federal Reserve? That's my question.
No. Hasn't been for 100 years, brother. Hasn't been for 100 years. And by the way, speaking of secret, Fort Knox in Kentucky hasn't been there forever. Okay? There hasn't been gold in Fort Knox, Kentucky forever. They placed gold there one time because the press was coming. And they allowed them to go into one room where there was gold. Okay. Later, somebody picked up the gold and went, funny. It looks like gold. Remember, Amelia? They were like handling it like it was nothing.
Like this, just like if it was nothing.
You know how much gold weighs, Cal?
Oh, it's heavy.
Hmm.
You know how much a bar of a 64-ounce bar of gold weighs?
I don't know, but I've seen people like they got the bar of gold and you got to put your hand in it, and if you're able to get it out, it's yours. And
Yeah,
I see people. It looks heavy.
it is heavy.
Hmm.
It
Very
is
heavy.
heavy. And it ain't easy to do. And only a handful of people have done that thing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. A 12-inch bar of gold weighs anywhere from 30 to 45 pounds, depending on its density. They were handling this stuff like it were bricks
Yeah. Like this.
because
This.
they were painted bricks.
Hmm.
They were gold painted bricks.
Hmm.
That's what they were. Okay. Amelia,
Yes.
what do you got? Secret societies. You ain't talked the whole night.
You've been talking. I didn't want to interrupt.
Since when?
Since you said.
You know what? Bitch, you gonna get smacked.
See?
I'm glad you're here, Cal, to witness this beating I'm taking.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, but like a lot of the time, you get into secret societies, like, like I said, motivation of membership, mutual aid, provides support and assistance, social connections for stuff, basically
I know. Well,
political
I forget all
influences.
about that. I forget that. I went through
Uh-huh.
that already.
Yeah.
Give me what you got. What kind of organizations you got? Pull me out a couple.
Well, Bohemian Grove is a big one that people are still wanting to get into. And they
Well,
have.
Alex Jones did get in there.
Hmm.
And we showed the footage
Yes.
on the show.
Hmm. And
But forget Bohemian Grove. We'll do
okay.
another.
Okay. Well.
I want to do a show on Bohemian Grove. And bring Cal in for that one.
Hmm.
Cal, you know about the Grove, right?
I've heard of the Grove. I've heard Alex Jones speak of the Grove. I've, yeah, I, I'd say I know a little bit about him.
All right, good. Go ahead, Neil.
Okay, well, explain to us a little bit about the Knights Templar. You said I was a little bit familiar with the masonry, but wasn't that more like for
The
banking
Knights
systems?
Templar, yeah. The Knights Templar were the predecessor to the
Hmm.
Freemasons. Okay, let me explain why. In the early days of the Crusades,
Hmm.
the Church of England had to find a way to combat the unrest and anarchy of
Hmm.
this other group that was trying to overthrow the church. Okay.
Okay.
Hence the Crusades happened where
Right.
they were killing each other, battling for territory and
Right.
land and okay. And it was basically a battle for control of the Church of England. All
Hmm.
right. The Church of England, they went to the Pope and they said, "Hey, Pope, we need your help. We need to hire, some other people,
Hmm.
to kind of help us fight this little battle we got going here. Because it's a pretty big size battle and we don't have enough men." So what the Pope did at the time was the Pope offered money because the Catholic Church was the only one that had money,
Right.
a lot of it too.
Hmm.
They still do. There's another secret society we're going to talk about. It's called the Vatican.
Yes.
That's a secret society. We talked about that before. Remember, Nelia?
Yes, we did a big couple shows on that one.
Yeah. So the Pope said, "Look, all right, King George, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the money. You go hire a bunch of people." He did. King George hired 10,000 riffraff and malcontent you could think of. And they became the best fighters the world had known. He canonized. He basically he did anyway. He blessed them and made them orders of the Knights Templar. Okay, and they all had a cross like that. Okay,
Hmm.
you see that cross there with that red cross? Okay.
Yes.
They all had that on a big shield, just like that. All right. And so what happened was they went into battle and they were kicking ass, and they kicked ass all over the place. Then as their membership grew, they started to went from England to Spain to Italy, and they started traveling around as hired hands.
Mm-hmm.
Then now they no longer worked for the church because they did their job. They kicked the shit out of everybody, and now they stayed as a group. So that's what they did. They became their own entity, and they called themselves the Order of the Knights Templar. Fast forward many years, it evolved into various groups and different factions. One of those factions is still around today, called the Freemasons, the Fraternal Order of the Freemasons. By the way, it's no accident that the Fraternal Order of Police,
That's what I was going to ask you.
is called the Fraternal Order of the Police.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Fraternal Order of the Police is directly connected to the Fraternal Order of the Freemasons.
Mm.
Most police officers are Masons.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that. You do now.
Oh, okay. Because Jeff was the Fraternal Order of Police. So now I know.
Oh, I know.
Also,
You know?
too, like, you know how you said the Skull and Bones had the Order 322, the Brotherhood of Death. Are they underneath that as well, or is it all like one connection? Because I had that separate from Skull and Bones.
It's all one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had those separate for some reason.
Yeah, it's all one.
Okay.
Yeah. Cal, bring it
Hey.
up over here on the big screen. I'm going to bring up on the big screen, brother, up here. Here he is, Big Cal. So listen, we are at the 8 o'clock hour, end of the show. What do you think, your first show with us?
I think it went pretty good. I like you guys, you know. There's a
like
lot
you
I need
too.
to catch up on.
Okay, here's what we got to do. We got to, we have to let Cal go because he's got a 3-hour head driving. God bless you, brother, for driving all that way, man. The next time you see Cal, he will be well rested. His hair will be combed back, and he will not be in his car. He will be in his home behind his computer, looking very dapper, like an aspiring actor should look. Okay. Cal, listen, brother, I'm going to let you go. Have a good one, and tell Steve, I'll send him a link to the show.
Yes.
All right?
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Take care, bro. Bye-bye. There he is. All right, Neil. We are back. Here we are. Hot damn. We're back. All right, that was a good show tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, excuse me. My nose is itchy.
Yeah, it's funny how he mentioned the Knights of Columbus because my dad's brother is a member of the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of stuff for the community and everything in Texas, and they have a lot of cookouts.
It's funny. Like the Knights of Columbus is one of the requirements is you have to be Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he Italian?
Texas, no, he's Mexican. So I guess in Texas it's
different. Belongs to the Knights of Columbus, and he's for real.
He's a higher up guy. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any Italian in him?
We do not. No.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who he paid.
I know, my Uncle Willie Valerio. So just look him. Yeah.
Hold on, I want to check that out real quick.
He's been a member forever, and he does the amazing brisket, and he does a lot of events.
Requirements for the Knights of Columbus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do a lot for, he does a lot for a lot of different charities in Texas.
The Knights of Columbus, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
To become a member of the Knights of Columbus, a man, only men, a man must be a practicing Catholic, at least 18 years of age, and in a union with the Holy See, which is the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
Application blanks are available from any member through the Knights of Columbus website. Membership is predominantly Italian American Catholic, although other nationalities, creeds, and races are welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone 18 or older, anyone who acknowledges the Vatican and the Pope as the Holy Father. Okay, there you go. No shit.
Yeah, he's Catholic. Yeah, a lot of my family's Catholic. So yeah.
And the Knights of Columbus started in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that some shit?
Is it a lot of stuff coming from Ohio? Isn't that weird?
That's because they got nothing better to do in Ohio. What the fuck do they got to do out there?
I think
Yeah, what's coming up, Neil?
I think CERN's up to it again because I feel a lot of shift in time again for some reason. I don't know about you, but I have. It's just weird lately.
It's, you know, it's funny that you say that because we were talking about that in church yesterday. In church.
Isn't that weird though?
It is very, there's a strange calmness in the air. Where like it's the calm before the storm, like there's something big's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I think, and then it probably involves our
a lot of people are going to be surprised, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so. And tomorrow we actually have the Rowdy Rev, Pastor Steve, coming on our show.
And Pastor Steve is going to tell you why there's a strangeness in the air.
Yeah, he's going to explain a little bit to us.
It's because Amelia farted, and that's why there's a strangeness in the air.
No, it's because I came back.
All the way from Miami, Florida, to Wesley Chapel, to Boca Raton.
Yeah, I'm going to tell Johnny.
From Boca?
I'm not really, probably a few hours because I'm not in that.
You live in Florida and you don't know your state? What the fuck kind of Floridian are you?
I'm originally from Texas. I don't care about Florida.
Oh, then go back to Texas.
I probably should. I'll just move up there where you live at. Your neck of the woods and bother you.
Well, come on up. There's plenty of places to live here.
Right?
Oh.
And I'm going to tell Johnny Patello you're picking on me, which he'll be on our show on the 21st, but I'll get to see him before
must
then.
have heard me talking about you.
Did he really?
It sure is, Steve.
Yeah.
That's funny. We're just talking about the Rowdy Rev. Pastor Steve, he called me and goes, is that tomorrow night? Yes, it sure is.
See, Pastor Steve, he's picking on me.
He's watching the show, folks.
He's picking on me, Pastor Steve.
Oh, it was meant for you to hear us then. Great. What we're going to do, I want to put you on speaker here. Hold on, Steve. Go ahead, Steven.
That was God, man, because this is the thing. You said to me last week, you said, I want you to come on and we're going to talk about why there's this strange thing going on in the air, the strangeness. And tonight I was just going through reels and out of nowhere you popped up and I heard my name with you. Oh my God.
Is that crazy?
I know it's tomorrow night. That's God.
That's
meant to happen.
That's beautiful. Brother, I love you. I want to see you tomorrow night. I'm going to say goodnight to my audience.
All right, love you too. If you want to call me back, I'll be up for a bit.
Yep, I'll give you a call back.
All right, cool. All right, guys. I'll see you.
All right, take care, Rev.
All right, you too.
That's funny. He was watching us.
Oh, how neat. I guess to see what time, make sure he was on tomorrow.
He was watching the show. Ain't that some shit? It popped up. Funny. Well, listen, folks, we got Amelia.
Oh, yes.
Tell everybody.
Oh, and then, of course, after tomorrow, on the 21st, we have returning guest Johnny Patillo coming
Johnny
back.
Patillo, yes. Amelia is going to aggravate him on Saturday the 19th.
No, I'm not going to aggravate him. No, I'm not on that
Bug the
Saturday.
shit out of the poor guy. Like he ain't got enough to do.
Oh, he actually would be comforting me and the family. So, and then we have on the 22nd, we have my cousin Saul Molina joining us with Manny Fernandez, wrestler Manny Fernandez from
Manny
back in my day.
Fernandez.
Mhm.
Excellent. Manny Fernandez. I'll tell you what, Manny's a good guy. I want to get together some I'm going to get together some of Manny's matches. I'm going to try and get a hold of his early matches from Texas.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about his girlfriend, Lucy.
You have my cousin excited. I'll tell you that right now for coming on the show. He is so excited.
Excellent. Good. Good. Saul Molina.
Yes.
All right, Amelia, we are going to say goodnight to these folks over here, these fine folks here. We have, let me see what we got going on here. We got a couple things going on. Oh man, we've got, we have, let me look at my thing here, folks. I want to check something out because we have something I think people are really going to like. Here it is. I found it. I found what I was looking for. We have Eddie Deason and Angelo Capone return. Okay, now this is what I wanted to tell you because at the end of the month, we're going to fill out the month with a good show, couple of good shows. We're going to laugh. Angelo Capone is an amazing Jerry Lewis tribute artist, but he don't like being called a tribute artist. No. He's a channeler. He channels Jerry Lewis. And then the next night is a guy that's been compared to Jerry Lewis for years. Eddie Deason will return, and he'll be back on the show. And I'm going to try to get his manager to come on here too. My publicist, Steve Joyner. Let's see what else we got going on. That is the 28th and 29th of April.
Yeah, that'll close out the month.
Yeah, crazy. But in the meantime, for Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, I am Angelo, Mad Dog DeCipio. This is America's Popcast. What's the buzz? Ladies and gentlemen, be kind to each other. Till we see you again, be nice, be kind, be gentle. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll be here tomorrow night. And if not, you'll see Amelia and I'll be talking to God about whatever happened today. But we pray everybody's look, tomorrow is never promised to anyone. We learned a hard lesson about that. Rest in peace, Jeff. Yeah. But you know what, folks? We're here to carry on the work. Yes. Okay? For Amelia, I'm Angelo. Take care. God bless, folks.